Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of CUBED, the Marvel Snap podcast. If I could speak straight, we are here at episode 12, and
Yes.
as always,
12?
huh?
Only 12?
No, 27. Did I say
Oh,
12?
I think you said 12.
Okay. Well, yeah, 27. I know we skip weeks here and there, but we all have life to get back to every now and then. But as always, I am your host, MarcLee. And they're already asking, where's the beard, Dakota?
Oh man, I had an interview for a job last Saturday, and they made me go naked face with it. So I wanted to be professional. I had my suit on, clean shaved. So I'm letting it grow back a little bit before I have to maybe start that job. So that's what happened to it. I know it's a bit of a shock. I'll give you
So
believe me.
I kind of jumped the gun there, but yeah, we have here Bok Choy, aka Dakota. You want to give yourself
What's up, y'all?
clappies? All right. And on a first ever podcast, we have invited one of our Alliance members to join us. So everybody in the chat, go ahead and give it up for Kevin Espinoza, a.k.a. Maverick. Welcome, Maverick.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, like we are trying to, we want to get to know all our Alliance members better because, we always talk to each other. I don't know if we're the only ones that started an Instagram chat, but that thing is going off like 24/7.
Yeah.
It's like,
Badass.
it's to the point where like, if you miss a couple hours, you might as well not jump in anymore. Start something new.
Yeah, topics changed already.
Yeah. So we are glad to have you here. You want to go Maverick or Kevin, or what do you want to do?
Either one.
All
Either
right,
one's
cool.
fine.
So the first thing
Let's go with Maverick.
let's go with Maverick.
Let's go
Okay.
Maverick. I like it.
The first thing I want to ask is, how did you come up with the Maverick?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It's from Top Gun.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I
And
thought.
and to be honest, and a little bit from I don't know if you guys know Mega Man X, Maverick
Okay.
Hunters. They're like the Maverick Hunters. They go after like the rogue
Oh,
robots and stuff like that. So it was like a combination of that.
that's cool. So would you say Mega Man's a big part of your gaming history?
Oh yeah, 100%. First game on PlayStation 1. Yeah,
Oh,
Mega Man
sick.
X4. I still
Hell
got
yeah.
I still got the original. Yeah, it was the game ratings before E for everyone,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
kids to adults and it still has it on that. Like that's how OG it is. So
Yo,
That's
that's
yeah,
crazy.
badass.
definitely big part of it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and I think everyone kind of wants to know. Well, I definitely want to know. How did you get into Marvel Snap?
So I obviously been a big Marvel fan if you can see the shirt.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yep, yep, yep.
hell yeah, dude.
I had to wear it. Just made sense. Yeah, big Marvel fan and everything like that. And one of my buddies, we used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links together. And it'd been a while since we chatted, and I was like, "Hey, are you still playing?" He's like, "Nah, I'm on a game called Marvel Snap." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, Marvel already interested." And then
Yeah.
he explained about it, and I personally never played Hearthstone before, but I've seen my other friend play it, and it looked like a lot of fun. I just never really got into it. And so when I started playing, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I can see how it's very, similar in that sense." And started during the Loki season last year, so it's
Mhm.
pretty much been a year and a bit since I've been playing,
Nice.
Oh, wow.
and haven't stopped. I think I've played yeah pretty much every day since. So snap head over here,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think Loki came out just last year, and every every month we get about what, 4 new cards, and so Loki doesn't seem
Yeah.
too far back, but thinking about all the cards that came after him, it's crazy to think. You've been playing a year. We're coming up on what, 2 years, Dakota?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, and so it's crazy to think like how long this game has actually been going on. But
Yeah, definitely.
another thing I wanted to ask is your friend that got you into the game, is he still playing?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
So he's in the alliance under Kageyoshi.
Kageyoshi.
But
Okay.
he's trying to get a little bit more active. He just mentioned he's got some stuff going on in his life right now. So
Yeah.
he does play. We usually play like, like 1v1 kind of a thing, and we test out new decks and stuff like that. So
Oh
Nice.
hell yeah.
it's fun when when you can text someone like, oh, that was a good play, or like, that was
Yeah,
sneaky, or
yeah.
kind of like talk that ish a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like, there's so many people that get so hurt easily in the game just by a emote that it's nice to be like, oh, I got to use these emotes. And you're playing a friend and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to emote
yeah.
all the time.
And we know like our personalities, I guess, and play style. So the emotes are actually like, like the Scarlet Witch one, where it's like like, that was
Yeah,
super close, or else, I guess my personal favorite to like kind of taunt at someone is the little morph squish fart face.
yeah.
Oh
That
yes.
one's
That's awesome.
that one's a tilter. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Luckily, it was free too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
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 No, it
For the
was.
season.
So there's some good free ones that they give us. I mean, and there's some pretty funny toxic ones. We always make fun of like the Cyclops one, which nobody wants to get the Cyclops.
I hate that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And there's multiple meanings to that one, I guess, right? Like
Hmm.
that one's when you like either popped off, or you're just like really angry that a bad location happened, or something, So you gotta interpret that one for sure.
Yeah. So okay, before we get into the actual season, anything else you'd like to add, Bok Choy?
Uh, no, I'm stoked to have you on here. Back when we all first started really getting this channel and everything kind of going, I remember you would always message on a meme and stuff. And then when we were like, "Hey, we're getting the alliance," I wanted to get you in, and we were trying to figure out how to get everything going. So it's awesome to have
Yeah,
you a
yeah,
part
yeah.
of this,
No, I
man.
appreciate that. Yeah, I just, I came across the page. To be honest, I think it was probably just like a meme that I saw pretty early on too. I remember, and just watching you guys grow, it's been awesome. It's been great to see, and especially now with the Alliance as well, it's just become a little community fam type of a thing, right? So
Yeah,
that's
man.
awesome. Congrats, guys.
Oh, I
Appreciate it,
appreciate
man.
that. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah, and it's not even just us. Our community is like you said. It's the one that built us up. So it's not just us. We appreciate the love and
Yeah,
and we kind of want to get to know everybody too. The alliance because they're helping us grow. So we want to see like who's backing us up and because we'd like to get to know you guys on a Marvel Snap basis because I see Bok Choy and Dark Hamlet almost every day, so it's nice to see like put a face to a name, right? But for
yeah, yeah.
everybody else, what's your in game name so they can know?
Mine is T Stank, and that I don't know if you know the reference. It was in one of the Marvel movies where Stan Lee,
Oh
he
yeah,
has a package, and he's like, "I got a package for Tony Stank,"
yeah,
and I don't know. That was one of my favorite ones. It always stuck with me, and then I figured, a bunch of Marvel fans would understand it, right? No one else would. I
yeah.
can't say that to anyone else. They're like, what are you talking about?
All right. Well,
I love
without
it.
further ado, like we just want to reiterate, thank you, Kevin, aka Maverick. Thank you for joining us today. For
Yeah, thanks.
everybody in the chat or anybody else watching this, if you guys would like to be a part of the show, go ahead and message me at ggMarcLee on Instagram, and we could set it up. And hopefully, Kevin, aka Maverick, you could join us another time someday. So that'd be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. All right. So we'll go ahead and start off with the season pass. So we weren't here to cover it last week, the start of the new season. But before we do dive into it, how is everybody doing on the ladder? I know somebody asked us in the chat. I wanted to ask you guys right now. So let's go ahead and start with you, Kevin, Maverick. Go ahead.
So I was mentioning to Bok Choy earlier, Dakota, um, that I'm at 88 right now,
Oh, okay.
and try and get it within like the first week to hit infinite. I've hit it multiple times. I think I missed like two, and that was the Arsham season. That was just a big mess for me, to be
Heck
honest.
yeah.
But I always try and hit it within the first week. And I was saying it's just because that the meta is always constantly changing each week that a new card comes out. I always just try and like kind of like get it over with, so to speak, right before like something new comes out,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's like the just becomes even harder, let's say, right? Um, but it hasn't been too difficult. It's just I didn't really play much this weekend. If I did,
Hmm.
I probably would have been already like mid 90s or else closer to infinite for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. How about yourself, Bok Choy? Where are you at right now?
I actually made it into Infinite today with so that was great. I'm no longer fighting for my life, so I'm happy
Nice,
about that. And of
nice.
course, great help from ggMarcLee. I couldn't have done without my boy here. So thank you on that one, my man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, we saw that post earlier today, which was amazing. But I tend to, I did make Infinite last week. I think the biggest hurdle was trying to find the bots, you know, because I don't know. I feel like they're lessening the bots, and that's good because then you feel more accomplished when you make it to Infinite. But
Good.
it kind of sucks because I think after the first week, the bots start to decline, right? So everybody that's trying to that didn't wasn't able to do it in the first week has a bit more trouble. So, but hopefully, we make our goals because sometimes the goal isn't to make infinite, right? Some people's goals is just to make it to 90. You make it to 90, you get the gold. You don't get really anything with the card back besides what bragging rights, but at some point you're just you can only display one card back, and sometimes these infinite card backs aren't that great. uh,
Yeah,
uh,
that's
can you guys think of like your favorite infinite card back? Let's start with you, Bok Choy.
Right now, it's got to be the one we just got. I am the biggest
The
symbiote
Venom
fan.
card.
Venom, like this is a season for me, and I am so pumped to have that card back. Yeah, my hands down.
How about you, Maverick?
For me, it would have been the Avengers season. I
Oh,
like that
he's a
one. The
good one.
gold, the gold with the shield in it. That looked prime. But the last one that we had, the Spidey one,
That one
I
was
like
good
that one as
too.
well.
Yeah, I
The
think.
Golden Spider just it pops.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Well, I think for me, my favorite, first of all, would probably be the nostalgic one because it's the first one I got, which would be the Kang, uh, the very first Kang one during the MODOK season. But I think my favorite, besides because the Avengers one was one of my favorites, but the other one would have to be the X, with the X-Men one, the one with just the X on the back. So the
Oh
one
yeah,
that
yeah.
you got in the season pass was the red one, but then the yellow one or gold would be the one that to hit infinite with. So that's those are the probably the three I kind of flex. So the Avengers one, the X-Men one, or the Kang. Now with
Nice,
this
nice.
season starting off, um, we have our season pass card in Agent Venom. So I'll go ahead and read this card for everybody else that's just listening. So Agent Venom is a 2-cost 4-power card. On reveal, set the power of all cards in your deck to 4. Now let me go ahead and start with you, Dakota. How do you feel about the addition to this season pass card?
This card has been so much fun. The deck that we did some good climbing with was the I think I called it slow burn. The mixture between this one and every now and then throwing in Bast, dude, you're consistently getting those low cost cards. I mean, think about just Iron Man off the rip alone. You're able to make that an 8 just by playing on its own lane. If you hit this with this card, um, you have that to start off with. Your Kitty Pryde's already at a 4. Like there was so many possibilities in that build, and I saw quite a lot of people trying this out with Destroy, getting their Deadpool already at 4 right off of everything else, and they weren't really caring because cool. Now my Null is already at 4 going on to this, and they just dropped Death. They didn't care if Death was in there or not, and there was so many possibilities. Just keep that moving. I saw a new variation of Destroy with Taskmaster and everything else. This is probably one of my all-time favorite season pass cards in a while.
Really? Okay. How about yourself? How do you feel about this, Maverick?
I actually really, really like it. It definitely made a strong impact on the meta currently, and I think it's gonna have a lot of staying power, just because the ability to get those low cost cards like Hood, let's say, that's already a -3. It's always such a detriment usually, right? You need Killmonger or you need Falcon to bounce back, so it's not just a -3 on board, right?
Yep.
To get that to a 4 and then to get a demon out of it as well, that's crazy. To get Kitty up to a 4, even Havoc, which isn't played as much, but that's strong enough. That's already what, like 212?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, you play him like last couple turns. That's strong. Mysterio, um, even cards like Nova and all these other cards like Iron Man, like Dakota mentioned, strong,
Yeah.
very
Okay.
strong.
Yeah. So,
Plus the
oh yeah, go ahead.
off at like 4 power,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty solid.
Yeah. So I feel like Rip Nation already said it right here. This card is getting nerfed. So the only reason why I could see this card getting nerfed is I don't know. I don't see it actually getting nerfed. Like honestly, I feel like it's good where it's at. It'll probably be a 3 cost maybe, but I don't see it losing its ability, like going like setting it power to 3, because that would just make C3 better, right? So and I can't see it going to 2 or 1, because that would just make what is it, either C2 better, or it would make what's the Ravonna Renslayer better, right? Imagine turning all your
Oh
cards
yeah,
to
cost 9.
1, and then it all gets discounted by Ravonna. That's crazy. But
That'd be insane.
yeah. So maybe the cost changes, because it at a 2 cost seems pretty good. I mean, I don't see it as broken as much, because say if you don't draw, it's not like it's the end of the world, right? You're still able to play the game. It's just the cards that you build off in your deck, it just builds off of it. Now, I think this card is like Maverick mentioned, it's a great addition to the game, especially with a lot of cards that have detrimental effects. Like, of course, if you play something that has a great effect, typically it has lower power, right? Just mention like Iron Man, such a great effect, but has 0 power. And with the additions of what's her name? She's in the new Deadpool movie. The
Copycat?
Cassandra Nova.
Cassandra
Andrew
Nova.
Nova?
Cassandra Nova, all the and all those other negative cards that were affecting the low power cost cards. It's nice to know that you could Agent Venom before they Cassandra Nova, right? If you Agent Venom and they Cassandra Nova, at least you have, all your cards are 3. So you're not too,
That's yeah.
yeah, so you're not stuck too much. I feel like when Cassandra Nova was around and I was playing like a deck with low power but good effects, it was very detrimental, because it's like I can't come out of the negative unless I play Luke Cage. And sometimes Luke Cage is a dead card. So,
Mhm.
anything else you guys would like to add on Agent Venom?
The animation's pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's it, it's
They're always coming out with some good ones.
yes, and it's nice that they actually did it when they release the card. Sometimes, they release a card and then it has nothing. But, when this card's released, it already had the animation set up for it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, they knew they had to.
All right. So the first card that came out with Agent Venom was another card that kind of hit the meta by storm. So
Mhm.
that's not a pun. But so it's Scream. Scream is a 2 cost, 2 power card. And when an enemy card moves, it steals two power from it. But the great thing is it can only do it once per turn. Imagine it doing it multiple times. That'd be crazy. So let me start with
That'd be
you.
crack.
Let me start with you, Maverick. How do you feel about the addition to this card?
So to be honest, I was thinking of like just skipping, but
Mm.
I saw the potential for it, but I guess I didn't really think about how it goes both ways in the sense that she's gaining power
Hmm.
and then you're losing two power.
Yeah.
So it's like double, like, and that's like every single turn if you can utilize her. So that's three, four, five, six type
Yeah.
of a thing. If you get like a really a lucky draw, or you like play on curve with all of your like move cards. But I had some keys, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna roll it, and I got her on the first try, and then I'm
Yo.
like, okay, yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad that I picked this card up.
All right. How about yourself, Dakota?
I didn't get to really play around with this card until after I made it infinite today, and it's the deck that I was running is a similar build to I think Cozy released one. It's kind of like the Mob Boss style, so it's really based around just completely screwing your opponent over by moving it and taking power. And at first, I was thinking, nah, it's not going to have as much compatibility, but man, this was a really fun time. I'm actually kind of enjoying this card a lot more than I thought I was gonna, and I have to say it's pretty powerful. It's a lot
Hmm.
more competitive than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like negative affecting cards have probably been the most effective in the game, just because they have some support that you typically don't play, right? So, say if you play Ajax, that's such a plus to you. Um, and if the opponent doesn't play Luke Cage, it's just like how do you do that? How do you counteract the effects? Because it, like Maverick said, if you move a card, it steals two, and then it adds two, right? So that means that's four power, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's
Yeah.
essentially like
Yeah.
four power every turn. So four power, you play it on two, three, four, five, six minimum. So that means you're stealing eight power. And that's just eight power that comes from nothing. You're already adding power to your side of the field if you play on curve, like Maverick was mentioning. So it's such an insane card. I don't think it's. Do you guys think it's broken?
No, personally, I think because it's the once per turn,
Mm-hmm.
they knew that if it was multiple times that things were gonna get a little too crazy.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty balanced in that sense. And then as always, there's that Luke Cage, there's that Shadow King just in case.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rip Nation just mentioned there was a rumor that Scream's gonna get a nerf in the sense where it won't steal power from face down cards. So that means if
Yeah,
people
I heard
that
that.
yeah, if people play say like Juggernaut, right? It won't steal that power. It'll just move it. But there are some cards that still gain power from moving, face down cards. So I know there's a little conversation there on like how do we choose which ones activate and which ones don't.
Yeah, because Craven still gets power, and so do,
Mhm.
and you also can decimate people with Kingpin if it's not completely revealed yet either. So
Mhm.
that's kind of a weird way to do it.
Yeah. And I thought they changed that, but I guess that was just for Craven, like if he was face down, is
Yeah, I think if it was
am I mistaken? Yeah.
no, no, yeah, if
I
Craven
heard
was
like
face
in like
down.
Hercules and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Cards like that they changed. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of unfortunate because it's kind of like you either let them all happen, or you let none of them happen. Because if you start nitpicking what happens or which ones get those effects, then it's kind of like, well, I'm choosing which card is better, you know, like which one should you prioritize, and that kind of screams unfair.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's more like it's more positive towards the negative afflictions, which sounds funny when you say it like
Yeah,
that.
it's an
But
oxymoron.
yeah, right. Because getting the kingpin and then getting jugged over like your three, four cards is like boom, 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 right?
Yeah.
Like
And like you said, luckily they only made it once per turn with Scream, because there was this turn. I didn't even play against Scream yet, and I didn't read the effect, but they magnetoed me last turn. I was like, I'm gonna lose. I'm losing 6 power, something like that. But it only, it only lost power once, which was amazing. I was just like, okay, I gotta read cards better. So
Hooked on phonics,
The,
work
the,
for me.
the thing with move also is sometimes like I guess the randomness, because when the Magneto moves, how do you know which one gets hit first with Scream, or
exactly,
is that's still random, right?
it's
Because
random.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, so it's hard to have a game plan against that
Hmm.
sometimes too.
Yeah, definitely. It sucks because you're just like, okay, well, I do all the math, but you lose by randomness, right? It's just like,
Yeah,
I came prepared for this
it's like one
test.
point.
Yeah. It's like studying for the test. And then it's just like, you know what? We're just going to mix everything up with you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So, and it really, the beginning of the season is really hard to know what's going to be in the meta, right? Because when the new season starts, of course, you always get the season pass card and you get that first week card. And you don't know how good it is going to be in the meta. I mean, you could theory craft and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be a good card. But, you know, one can never like know, right? Everyone thought, oh, Airstream's going to be for fun. And then that Airstream season, it was everywhere.
Risha,
So
the
that
Bane.
that was crazy. So you can never plan for that. I know you could be like, okay, well, I'm gonna try and counter it, but you're only as good as how well you draw every game, right? You could have a game plan, but if you don't draw the right cards, you're SOL. So, anything you guys would like to finalize on Scream?
Mm, yeah, I can see that kind of nerf happening with the like unrevealed, but I don't really see it like I guess at the top of the thing, because then they should have hit Kingpin, right? Because he can do it to all cards that are like tossed over, let's say by Juggernaut. So if
Yeah.
3 cards are tossed over into a Kingpin lane, he hits all 3, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So the thing with Scream is if that happened, it would just hit the one. So
Yep.
I mean, like I can see it happening, but maybe it's just not like at the top of like their like concerned type of a thing.
And the thing is, and I'm not saying it's not strong. I don't think it's gonna stay around, right? I think it's hype right now that it's one of the new
Yeah.
cards, but it's not
Mm.
actually the best move deck. There have been more successful move decks, and I just feel like people are annoyed by it, not so much it's overpowered.
Yeah, I can yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. So we're going to move on. The next thing I want to talk about is the stuff that they've announced for the anniversary. So if you guys haven't seen what they've announced for the anniversary, let me go ahead and pull it up here. So they said here that they're going to be doing a poll that will start. When is the poll? I don't know when it starts, but I think these daily logins will begin October 18th, and I believe that the poll might start that same day. So it's going to be 7 days, and the first day you'll get 65 random boosters. Day 2, 250 credits. Day 3, a title will be Live, Love, Snap. Day 4 will be 2 neon white card borders. Day 5, premium mystery variant. Day 6, 155 random boosters. And day 7, 1 cosmic orange card border. But
Yeah, that one's gonna be nice.
yes, right? Because cosmic ones are the most expensive ones with gold. And they just released 2 cosmics, the rainbow and the black cosmic, that are 1,000 tokens. And I bought 6. I don't know if you see it like in the background right here. You can see one of them in the background right here. I'm just like, oh, please don't look at that.
Go away, go away.
Go away, go away. But the three variants we get to choose from will be from, if I'm not mistaken, it's Pandart, the artist. So, we're gonna have a Pandart Destroyer. Oh yeah, Pandart Studio. So Pandart Destroyer, a Pandart Howard the Duck, and a Pandart Armor. Now, let me start with you, Dakota. But you see these three, right?
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on each, and which one are you gonna choose? So let me go ahead and start on Destroyer. What do you think about it?
Top favorite. Love it. That's the one I want right there. I'll save you time. That's it. That picture there, God damn, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Look at that motherfucker. God. Woo-hoo. Yes, indeed.
All right. So, okay. Since you just stated which one you're going to pick, what do you think about Howard the Duck and Armor?
It's the best Howard. I think it's a cool looking one. I really enjoy the Pandart style. I always pick them up when I see them. The armor one is, you have that ultimate, which looks probably this is just a little bit not as good. So I'm happy that this is going to be something that we can, just gold and get versus having to do 5,000 tokens. But I currently have the Venomized one, so I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up, but it's Pandart, so I probably will. But I like them all, but Destroyer is supreme, baby. God damn, that's so beautiful.
All right. How about you, Maverick? Let me get your opinion on all three and then pick which one you're going to go. So how do you feel about the Destroyer?
Yeah, the fact that it's Pandart, they have some crazy stuff. Since they came out with their first album, I was like, wow, this is really, really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are kind of uniquely priced. Like the Blue Marvel one, I think is like 700, or the
Yeah.
Onslaught one,
Yeah.
but it looks insane,
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I'm like, buy? Like, yes. So I love it. And the Destroyer one, it just looks super awesome in action. Um, it actually looks like the card's doing, obviously, with the animation and everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Love that one. Howard the Duck. Obviously, I think I speak for everyone when I say that he's not played as often.
Yeah.
Like he's like in a very rare amount of decks, so I don't really see it being chosen. I know Sully's probably going to be like, wrong. I'm choosing it. I think you already mentioned that in the Alliance chat. So, um, go for it, man. The armor one is awesome as well. I personally don't have an armor variant. I know that's wild. I have like I think like 800 boosters for it. So
Oh my
whichever
gosh.
armor one I get, it's probably just gonna get inked like easily, like in that sense. But I'm gonna have to pick Destroyer.
Okay. All right. So
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
Yeah.
so for myself, I believe, Destroyer, one of the Pandart alone, one of the top tier artists. I know art is subjective. I know a lot of people like the Dan Hip, they like the Pixel, they like um, other types. I enjoy the realism in the 3D-ish effects on stuff. So Pandart, Art Germ, those are like probably one, in Hyuk, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, in Hyuk Lee. So
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah, so they come up with some of the best ones. I mean, even some of the, geez, I can't remember the name. Alex Ross. Alex Ross has some really good ones. So
Yeah.
with all of these having the same type of art style, like Maverick mentioned, Howard, I don't really play him too much. I mean, I'm not gonna say I play any of these a lot, but I feel like the one I most play would probably be Armor. But already, Dakota has mentioned that the ultimate armor is probably a little bit better. Let me go ahead and give you guys a look-see because I already have it. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah, this
look at
one,
that.
it's such a good art style already. I would feel like getting another one, don't get me wrong. I'm going to buy it. Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Money bags over here. God damn.
But I feel like the one that people should get free, it would probably be Destroyer. So, so yeah, with those three, I feel like people are leaning towards Destroyer more. But if not, I think Armor gets second place because Armor's probably the second most played out of all three of these. Because, I mean, when do you run a Destroyer deck that doesn't have Armor? So.
Good point.
So, yeah, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You have anything you
I
guys
was
like
just
to add?
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that the last poll, I think it was with the Shang-Chi and then the Human Torch. It was like a few months back.
Oh,
It
it
was
was
the Rian Gonzalez Shang-Chi and then the In-Hyuk Lee Human Torch
And the Ghost Rider.
and the Ghost Rider.
and the Ghost Rider. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi." Everyone like, we use Shang-Chi more and stuff. Everyone like go for that. And then Human Torch ended up winning, right? So
Yes.
it could surprise us. Maybe everyone's just gonna troll and hop on the Howard the Duck thing just to mess around.
Okay, are any of these okay, Armor you get for free, right? The card.
That's
So
in pool 1.
I think
Pretty sure it's one.
okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
pool.
sorry, it's pool 1. And then Destroyer is pool 3. Now Howard is also pool 3. So I Sully mentioned that Howard is one of the cards that you have to pay for, or you could still get threes and cashes, right?
You should be able to in pool
It's
3.
Yeah,
fours and
you can.
fives.
Yeah, the free ones,
Okay, so threes
the ones that you can.
you can pay for, but you typically get them in cashes if you don't want to rush the process. So that means Destroyer and Howard are on the same level. So if you want to vote, I'd say vote for one of these two because new players would be able to get it faster. That's the only thing. Armor, it's strictly for the variant. You get it in pool 1, so you're not going to be helping the community by voting Armor in any case. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. I say Destroyer or Howard. Now they also mentioned they had a whole new post about the season for this year. So let me just pull that up real quick. Okay. So, Jesus, never mind. I don't have it. But they just mentioned 2 bundles that they are releasing, and they're in the shop right now. So, let me pull this up. There is a money bundle that comes with a Carnage here. You get one of these red web borders, which they're really pushing right now. And then you have a gold bundle with Venom, 2,000 credits, and then the black web border, which came in this Morbius bundle, which I'm not gonna get.
Oh yeah,
Are
the
you
whale
going?
bundle.
Okay, so for you, it's a win bundle. You said.
I said whale bundle.
Oh, whale bundle. Okay. So yeah, that whale bundle is insane, but they're offering, I guess, lower price stuff. Okay, let me go back to it. So if you purchase this, if you purchase the Carnage bundle, you would only have to purchase 500 more gold to get this bundle. I guess that's my way of selling it.
It's smart, man. It's quick maths. I saw that and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect." Yes. Okay. And done.
So I don't know. For me, I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I don't know if they are worth the purchases, but at least they are offering something for. I know for Dakota, it's worth it.
They're so worth it. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, the black one. Yeah, he's like instant buy.
Yeah. That's why I'm surprised he didn't get the Morbius Killmonger bundle.
Nah, dude, that's too much. That's way too much. I couldn't do that nonsense. That's out of my price range.
But they did mention they are offering other things. For some reason, I can't find the post. I don't know if you guys remember what they were saying about
Was
that.
it the Volt? Were you talking about the Volt?
I don't know.
Oh, there's a Deadpool bundle coming out to celebrate the 2 year anniversary. It's
That's
like a
right. So
Toon
there's a
Pool.
Deadpool bundle. Oh, actually, also for iOS users, we get a card back. That's what I forgot.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, that came out.
yeah, so that came out. It's a Wolverine 8-bit kind of card back, and then they said they are announcing a league where if you participate, you get a Deadpool card back, and then if you're in the top 3 of the league, you'll get a Moon Girl and
And Devil Dino.
Devil Dino variant.
Yeah.
So that is kind of looking very tasty, especially for people that want to have bragging rights, right? Now, I kind of feel like I always try to, before a league starts, I try and get as low as possible on the ladder so it's not so hard to get those rewards. But how do you guys feel about leagues so far? Let's start with you, Maverick.
Um, um, it's a fun concept. Obviously, like in real time, seeing like how you're ranking. The rewards are motivation. It's just the time setting, I guess, of it. Maybe if it was kind of like Alliance, maybe if it lasted the entire month, as
Mm,
opposed to just maybe like one weekend where it's like, well, what if I have a wedding, or
yeah,
what
yeah.
if I'm out with my girlfriend? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like I gotta, like I gotta hit league. I gotta do this. I'm like, I want to go watch a movie. I'm like, hiding my phone, like trying to get one more match. And like,
Yeah.
that's the type of pressure that it's throwing on you. And, nothing against anyone who wants to play this game for a long period of time. It's just, I feel like that's heavily in their favor,
Mm-hmm.
right? And to kind of hide to not to say like they're the most popular cards, maybe like 2 years ago they would have been like, oh my god, because it was such a good deck, Devil Dino, right? And it still is for the lower pool. But to kind of hide it, it's just meh. Like, they
Yeah.
could have been, maybe they could have just given it to us, like, like,
Right?
just give it to us. Like, for participating, maybe if you did 15 league battles or something, that could have been another parameter to unlock it.
I agree. I feel like if they want to put something behind a grind fest, it should be a card back or a title, right?
Mm.
Just like what was the Cassandra Nova? Like if you earn this many bubs,
Deadpool's Diner.
yeah, Deadpool's Diner. If you were like the top 50 that earned the most bubs, you got a title, which cool. You could flaunt that title. But when they do variants, I feel it's very bad for a FOMO kind of thing, you know? It kind of puts like that addictive mentality into people.
Yeah,
Where
definitely. Yeah,
so
and I have it. So it's like, I want to. I'm not going to, but it
yeah.
makes me feel that feels bad, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's just like, yeah.
I feel like after a league that they give away good stuff, we have to start like an AA meeting or something for everyone's like, yeah, we weren't top 3 guys, you know, we won't have those variants.
Yeah, seriously, like, yeah, it just feels like, and the thing is, like I said, it's not something that's like major, right? Cassandra Nova, I would have felt really, really bad if I did not get that in Deadpool's Diner. And
Yeah.
I was grinding so hard because, like I said, Arshem, it's just, I always get the worst luck against Arshem players. Let's just say that. Skill issue. The thing is, it's just I needed that counter, right? And
Yeah.
without that card, it just would have been a lot harder to deal with that season. Now she's kind of like died down. She's still a really solid card,
Hmm.
but for the Moon Girl Devil Dino variants, they're nice. But it's like, if it's something so kind of, I guess, minuscule to me, why not just give it to everyone? Like, why just the top three people, right? Like
Yeah.
just change it to something else, right? Like the title, like you mentioned.
Or honestly, I'd feel like if they just created another play mode for leagues, right? And it was just like the Cassandra Nova, where you reach a certain point in the league, then you get it. But then you could also be like, okay, people that put in the time, you get this card back, you get this avatar, you get this title. Because those people are just like, okay, whatever, that's cool. Some people want to grind it. So, when they're done with the game, they could sell their account for a good amount. Like, hey, I was like one of the top people to get bubs. So, but it's not so FOMO feeling, you know? You just be like, oh, well, I have to wait like 2 years to just buy the variant. I mean, I'm not saying they're like great variants, but anytime somebody gets
Mm.
a free variant and somebody doesn't get that free variant, especially if it's like throughout the whole game, it feels bad.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure.
so with that being said, I think the only thing that we haven't talked about that they are providing is another mode that we were just talking about Deadpool Diner, but they are adding this new mode. It's going to be called High Voltage, which is exactly what we mentioned that they're going to be doing. It's a game mode. Let me go ahead and just read it for you guys. It says, Danger, danger.
Mhm.
Marvel Snap's newest game mode will be called High Voltage. It will feature crazy fast matches that end on turn 3. Also, every single turn, both players get a random amount of energy from 2 to 5. It doesn't have cubes, and you can't snap. Can you imagine how crazy those matches are going to be? The only sad thing is that it will be a temporary game mode, running for a week starting on the 18th of October. So it's going to be starting the same time that you could start voting, and you're going to get your rewards. So as a reward for playing, you'll get volts, which can be exchanged for some nice rewards. So it looks like here, 1,500 volts, you'll get a Agony avatar. 3,000
Mhm.
volts, you get some tokens. Doesn't say how many. 4,500 volts, you get a red border and red neon
Red
border.
neon ones.
Yeah, which doesn't even look too different from the the red ones that you already get when upgrading a card. 6,000 volts, you get credits, which you don't know. 8,000, you get the card Agony, which is amazing. This is like the thing that we're saying. Like if you're gonna give a card, make sure it's like obtainable. Um, and then 11,000 volts will be an Iron Man variant. So it looks like it's gonna have somewhat of the same type of play as, or what is it? The same type of mode as Deadpool's liner, because there's a refill now button here. So I'm guessing you could earn
Oh yeah.
volts or something like that, and then you don't wager anything. So I don't know how that works, but how do you guys feel about this mode? Let me go ahead and start with you, Bok Choy.
Oh, I'm excited. I like anything that allows us to play the game and earn things. That's kind of the whole premise of the season, right? When you're hopping on trying to get to infinite so you can get that card back, so you can get that gold. Like having a new game mode that allows you to do that and it's a little different, it's gonna be fun. I absolutely was obsessed with Deadpool's Diner. Sully mentioned he was shocked how long it took to get, it didn't take that long at all to get Cassandra and the variant. Same here. I really didn't get a chance to play it for more than maybe like 3 days, like hardcore, and then I got everything no problem. I was like, oh wow, that was super fun. Like the high risk, high reward. I really enjoyed that, and yeah, I think that going into high voltage, we're gonna have a good time with this. I can't wait for Agony. I think that's gonna be a really awesome card, and yeah, so I'm cool with it.
How about yourself, Maverick?
And I'm also pretty excited as well. Obviously, every type of new game mode, it's going to be fun, I think, one way or another. This one, especially just because with the random amount of energy, there's so many different strats that you can already go with. Are you going to play like low cost just because you don't know how much energy you're going to get, and on turn three it's done? You're just going to get one, like multiple ones and twos on board, or are you going to be risky and maybe throw in, like a Black Panther because you're going to get like five energy on turn one. You're like boom, like, and then you just kind of coast with that and go. So I think that's going to be really fun, and there's going to be a lot of like fun strategies, randomness obviously of course with the energy, but again it's a high risk high reward, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, hopefully they make this mode enjoyable. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say how long it's going to run for. It just says it's going to be running starting the week on October 18th. So it doesn't say how long it's going to be running. But I know Deadpool Diner, they said it was going to be running for 2 weeks. And I
Hmm.
can honestly say for myself, I did get upset that it was tough at the beginning of Deadpool Diner, right? Trying to reach those milestones. But they gave you a obtainable 2 weeks. And I feel like 2 weeks was a good amount of time for you to obtain Cassandra Nova for free. I feel the reason why I got upset in the first place was I wasn't getting to know exactly how the game mode was working correctly. So I'd wager stuff prematurely. But after I got over that hump of like, you know, 2 weeks is obtainable. I kind of like settled down. And, I was actually able to obtain it within a week. And so I had a week to spare. I was passing out bubs at that point, right? Just like everybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So people, once the community hits that time where they probably get the Iron Man variant, right? If possible, they'll probably give out, if they can give out volts. Everybody's gonna find out the day of, because we don't know how this game mode's gonna work. But the community is very giving. So hopefully, with the time of the season, it's gonna be they'll be in that giving mood. So before,
Trick or treat. You never
yeah,
know,
right.
dude. It's October though. Let's see what we get.
So before we end it, I want to go ahead and speak about the card that we are going to get tomorrow. Just briefly, I know we could kind of theory craft on it, but I just want to get your opinions on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Tomorrow we are getting Misery. It's a 4-cost, 7-power card. It's an on reveal, and it repeats on reveal abilities of your other cards here, but then it destroys them. So let me start with you, Maverick. How do you feel about this card?
This one feels like it's kind of a wait and see, just to see what kind of decks people are coming out with. I know there's some of the obvious ones, and they've shown it in like their developers update where you just drop it on like a hazmat or a debris,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like boom, boom, right? And
Yeah.
that kind of those types of plays make sense. And then there's other people saying, well, it can work in mill as well, right? You just drop Yondu and then Cable,
Oh
and then
wow.
maybe even Gladiator. And then
Mm-hmm.
even though you destroy them, their deck's pretty much gone by turn four, right? So it seems like it could be interesting, pretty disruptive. And the 7 power is pretty decent compensation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll probably wait maybe like a day or two, but I feel like I will try and roll for it.
Wow, you've done some research, or you've been watching some videos on this, huh?
Yeah, no, it's just because like I said, Mill, it's obviously annoying to play against, but
Yeah.
it is very disruptive. It is a strong, thing. Cable, every time I see a cable, I'm just like, oh shit. I'm like, what did they take, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show you. It just kind of like copycat. Um, that surprise factor. And then with the Yondu and then even Gladiator, and then on top of that, you could have armor synergy where it just plays them again, but it doesn't destroy them.
Okay. All right. So we got a lot to think about just through Mavericks, speaking about it. But Dakota, I guess I should have let you go first, but
Oh man, my man's spitting wisdom over there. Like, oh my gosh, yes. I'm
Yeah.
thinking similar on that line was Snap Nation. He had the Sorry Not Sorry build, and that was kind of my thought. Like this card would be hilarious to throw in there and just continuously just fuck with the people, and they'd be so pissed. Like the amount of rage quits you have because you just don't see these little things coming. Like imagine putting out your White Widow, and then you got debris, and then you throw this down, and you're doing it twice, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Like like I could see some
Uh,
insane
yeah.
stuff going down
Yeah,
here.
that would make me.
Oh yeah. So I'm thankful to be off of the ladder when this card shows up because the rage quits would be through the roof. But this also has synergy with destroy. I feel like you could do a couple things there, destroy these cards that can disrupt, and now that power is all going over to null. Like we could see
Mhm.
some new styles going, throughout here. So yeah, I'm pumped about this one. Again, symbiotes, baby, all the way. I'm a big fan of this season. You already know the vibes. This is how it is. God bless America. God bless everything. Yeah.
So I feel on the same vein where I think a lot of the symbiotes should work with destroy, right? Because null is a big destroy card. Null is the maker of the symbiotes. It just makes sense that most symbiote cards should work with null. So I feel like the misery is another card to just pump null, right? So basically, you activate your cards again; they get destroyed. All that power is like you play a Deathlock, and then you play Misery on the Deathlock. Deathlock destroys the Misery. Misery destroys the Deathlock. All that 12 power goes straight to null. So it's just like, and then you get death free. You get death lower. So I feel like definitely a destroy deck is where it's going to be living in for a little bit. For cost, I don't think destroy actually has a 4 cost at the moment. Not in the
Just like
major
I guess
market.
if you throw in Shang-Chi maybe, but not in
Yeah,
the main, yeah, not in the
yeah.
archetype, yeah.
So
Atuma.
yeah, that's true. Okay, good pull. So yeah, with the change to Tuma, it could be another way to get misery, but also the on reveal. So if it doesn't have an on reveal, it doesn't destroy it. So that's the downside to it, right? So if you want to destroy a what is it? A Deadpool or a X-23, it doesn't really do that unless you have something that has an on reveal to destroy it in that lane. So that's the only downside I see about putting it in destroy deck. But I feel like it'll be a great addition. I don't see it doing
Yeah.
terrible, but I don't see it being overpowered at all. So anything else you guys would like to add? Any guesses on how many keys it's going to take you?
Oh,
Oh man. Since I got Screaming one, it's probably gonna take 4, the usual.
oh, god damn! Don't do this. Don't put that out there, brother.
For me, I already wasted my
Oh,
luck.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 3 key for me. I have a bad feeling about it. The name is Misery. If it's not 3 or 4, then the developers are really fucking with us, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Everyone.
I just had a thought on it
Yeah,
too.
what's up?
On reveal, right? So what if this could work with like throwing out the shard from Dakin? What if this could work by throwing out like a hammer from Thor? Would that work as well, right? You could make that reveal go and then it destroys the hammer, right? So now it's happening twice over onto to Thor and stuff like that. Just
Um,
Yeah,
something just popped up.
so
yeah,
not
definitely.
with
Yeah, definitely.
Dakin. So Dakin, it will give you another shard,
Oh yeah, because that's
but then
not
they'll
on reveal.
destroy
That's right. It has to be
Dakin.
destroyed or discarded.
Yeah,
That's it. Okay, okay. I was thinking in my head it was on reveal, but no, I'm
yeah.
very wrong.
No, you're good.
Apologize for that
But
one.
you're right about Thor or what's his name?
Beta
Thor's
Ray
buddy.
Bill.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill. You play the
Beta Ray Bill.
hammers, and then you destroy. You could destroy it afterwards. Which for Thor's hammer, it's great. It's not. But it's not great for Beta Ray Bills because Beta Ray Bills actually has power, right? If you kind of need the power there, then destroying it would. It's only 1 power, but they nerf cards 1 power, and it's very detrimental sometimes. So that one
Mm-hmm.
power could be very,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it could turn the tables.
Dude, imagine doing that on like Zola, Arnim
Ooh.
Zola. If you got it out earlier, what kind of chaos would that ensue? Just,
Wait,
I'm
no.
curious.
If you do it on Arnim
If you
Zola,
had like
Arnim Zola will just spread misery to your other lanes.
I know. Like, what if it could do that and like have different effects, breaking things down, reactivating stuff? I don't know. I know it sounds dumb,
if
but
you had
that just
Nimrod, if you had Nimrod on board, and then there was lots of like, maybe like a Deathlock, and then some other cards already there, like another Venom or Carnage, yeah, that would pop off pretty hard.
that's my man. See, that's
On
what
the
I'm talking about. Maverick, we need you on here more often. I'm not crazy. God damn it.
But there's also it also reaches the point where like if you Arnim Zola too many
Oh,
too
don't
many of
bring it
them,
up. I,
they just disappear. It's just like they're
don't hurt me.
they're
Don't
nowhere
hurt
to
me.
be found.
Bro,
So
that was one of the worst things that ever happened to me. I was all pumped about this move. I had Arm that was going to go down and spread Venom, and it was going to just win. And then they went before me. They nocturned, and it turned it to Bar Sinister. And Arnim went across everything. And by the time it was done, I had like 3 power across the whole board. I was like, you motherfuckers. Then they hit me with the Cyclops. Oh, fuck
Yeah,
you, man.
no,
Oh, my
uh,
gosh.
that that's uh, that's going to bed sad.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, turn around and cried.
It's when you take a break for like a week or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I need a new phone. I don't know what happened. It was crazy.
All right. So for anybody that would like to follow you, Maverick, where can they get your social media? Where do you want on social media?
Um, You know what? You could just follow me, Kevin_Wolf90. Or if you like photography, you can also follow my photography page, which is Kevin's_captures90. And that's where I just showcase a lot of my stuff.
All right. So we'll go ahead and post that down on the YouTube video. If you guys look below, Kevin's stuff will be, if you want to follow him, that's where you guys can follow all his stuff. We thank you again, Kevin, for joining us. We appreciate you actually taking
Thank
time.
you guys. It was awesome. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
And
no
hopefully we could
problem.
do this
It was such
again.
a fun time.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Just let me know.
So, Bok Choy, anything else you'd like to add before we go ahead and close it?
Nah, just the same old, same old. You guys are awesome. I love you all. I'm excited to have you up here with us, bro. Seriously, like I never thought in a million years when we all were
Thank you.
sitting
Thank
around at
you.
lunchtime going like, "Yo, we should get a podcast going. We should get this done." Getting the memes built and watching this page grow. It just means so much that anybody even cares, and the fact that we're actually building a community that we can all just like, I mean, some of us going through some hardships, and the fact that we can just type in and go, "Man, today kind of sucks," and I can see everybody come together and say, "Hey, this is what helped me." I think that is so important. People just coming up and helping each other. That's what we're all about. So I love it. And thank you guys.
Sometimes I wish that, the alliance could be more than, 30 people. But unfortunately, they did put a cap on that. But here's to growing the community on Instagram. We don't have any cap on that. So hopefully.
Amen,
So until next time, you guys have a great night. Thank you, people in the chat, for joining
Thank
us. Thank you guys for supporting our Instagram page. And until next time, we will catch you guys on the next episode of CUBED, the Marvel Snap podcast. Have
Nice
a good
meeting you,
night.
brother.
Have a good one, guys. Take
I'll be
care.
the
Good
same. Bye
night.
bye.